In this video, we will go to Upwork. We'll find a real automation job posted by a company. I will explain how I would go about building something like that and how I would price this service to make sure that the client is landed. Now, let's search for, AI automation in our job search, and let's see what people are saying. So Telegram automation bot, hourly rate estimated less than 1 month. So Telegram automation, custom GPT, AI strategy consultation, AI coder, Lindy AI. Now, so let's actually open a few of them. Okay, so Telegram automation might seem interesting because, like, beside, if we're not like reading the actual description, I would say that we'd use, end probably for the trigger. Then you'd use, HighLevel as the interface to manage everything. And then we're all good, but we'll see. So custom GPT, when people are, saying custom GPT, it means that probably it's a low ticket thing. So AI strategy consultation, not interested in that. AI coder, so we're looking for the coder, proficient in Cursor. No. Lindy AI. So the the tool related, it's questionable. Lindy is great, but we're not working with Lindy. And again, so like when people, and it's actually a pretty big company if they are working something specific, because Lindy is actually marketing to enterprises a lot, and they have the connections within different industries. So I know that there are a lot of the enterprise clients, not the enterprise, like also like the larger and medium scale companies, are looking into Lindy specifically, and they're like looking for Lindy AI developers because this is how their marketing is structured. But I would not take this job. Build AI agent and deploy. Okay, so let's see what it says. Full stack developer. So this is probably the actual job. Automation consultant. AI video editing, no. So translate language. Okay, so let's actually try to find something different, because I think we're good to go with all these two. Say AI agent implementation. And by the way, I think that this video will be published maybe next day after I'm like recording it. So I guess you can go ahead and build something like that yourself. One very important thing that I want to mention, if you don't want me to go over, try to find a job randomly, go into the comment section. I promise you, I will respond and build it live. Okay, I'm not gonna like build it finalized, but I'll help you to understand how to either build it or price it or offer it to the client. So if you are having potential client, if you want to build something, say in the comments, hey Jing, this is the project that I'm working on, how you would go about like X, Y, and Z. In the next video, I will cover that, I promise. Now, so Instagram close bot development. Yeah, okay, so again, as I said, I don't really like the fact that people are mentioning the specific tools when they are creating the project. But okay, so would be curious to see about the Instagram need help, build new websites, now set up online OpenAI or remotely. Again, agent workflow, YouTube video production, no, we don't need it. Agent AI expert for one-on-one training. Automation recruiting agency cold outreach. Okay, just curious, but not gonna take it. Now, so let's see. We're looking for Telegram automation DM tool. We have 1,000 members in our sales community. We're looking to do weekly outreach on every. Okay, now, so don't love the outreach strategies and when we're like talking about the agents, because I have my own point of view when it comes to the outreach. We do build outreach system, but they are usually built on either the database reactivation for the voice AI or for the cold outreach on the email, not using the DMs. So not a good fit. Build AI agent and deploy. So project where we create a functional AI game master for URB fantasy world using no-code tools. The streamlined implementation focus is essential. Core development, 8 hours implementation. I am wondering why there's like, where are they getting these numbers from, but okay. Basic knowledge-based integration. Upload, okay. Configure, setup, good. Simple player interface. Create conversational-based DM experience. Implement basic character tracking via implement basic character tracking. I'm not sure what that. Configure response formatting for narrative description. Okay. Minimal game mechanics. Set up simple resolution system using exploit dice concept. Implementation approach. Okay. Set up platform. Select flow wise length. Chat flow. Create an agent workflow. So what I'm thinking is how this is going to deploy. No code deployment. Okay, deploy public facing interface. Deploy. Okay, so this one would be probably a good idea to build, but are they saying where's the hourly rate? So sorry for not like I am sometimes like getting confused within the Upwork because like I've never actually had any client from the Upwork. There are some of my clients were posting in the Upwork and then found me through the YouTube or through the content, but I was so I literally created the profile. I had the profile for a while now, but I created the freelancer profile like a few hours ago. So 24 average rate paid. Okay, but is it like somewhere mentioning? So hourly rate, so 10 to 15, it means that, okay, so they are looking for a different type of the freelancer. Let's say it's 30 if they're planning for, 8 hours implementation. Let's say it's 10, yeah, it's going to be $300-$500. Well, that's not great, but okay. So hourly rate, we're seeking full skill developer to create close bot specifically for Instagram. Close bot should automate response in the interactions to enhance user experience and create more sales. The ideal candidate will have experience Instagram API explanation. Okay. Now anything about the budget hourly rate? So average hourly rate paid. It means that they love getting the cheaper people. So project length 1 to 3 months. Okay, so they are looking for kind of low experience person that will work with them like long term. I really like this idea. Now we're gonna go to the close bot, right? So I'm not a big fan of the close bot. Like again, so when you can build everything kind of yourself, right? And when you're integrating it within the HighLevel, we have our own agentic system that is called one prompt. So this is basically a suite of automations and agents that we offer to our members, and you can actually get access to, and you can resell. But everything is built at the HighLevel and it's powered by, and Voiceflow. So this is what we're probably going to use, but we're not going to use one prompt specifically so that it's easier for you if you have your own HighLevel account. And if you don't want to go with the one prompt, you can build it yourself. But okay, so I like this one. Automation recurring agency cold outreach, B2B generation for the goal is to automate the entire outbound process for lead score. Yeah, so I guess it's just the clear enrichment. Okay, so it's regular. It's regular outbound cold email infrastructure. Yeah, not gonna take that. Okay, so let's actually start with the Instagram. This pretty fun. Now, they are not mentioning any specifics. They're just saying, okay, so the close bot should automate the responses and interactions to the enhanced user engagement and create more. Yeah, so it's basically what I'm picturing. So we are having the Instagram that is going to take everything. And by the way, so here's what we can do. If I go to my mirror here, there is 10 AI offers, Instagram. Okay, let's check the logo. Okay, something like that. I'm gonna take it so that it's easier visually for you. So these are some of the tools that we're using. Okay, so let's do that. Okay, now so we have Instagram, right? So we have the Instagram, and this is where we are receiving the DM. Okay, so here it's actually here. Okay, so DM is received. So we are probably talking about the inbound, right? So when the DM is received, where it's going to be hosted, I would say that we need to have an interface where we're gonna, let's call it interface, where we're gonna manage the replies, okay? There are two solid options right now in the market. So the first one is, so because they are, it's easier to explain it to them because they're mentioning the close bot, so they are pretty familiar with the HighLevel. But I would explain you a bit later on how you would actually go about, how you'd actually try to explain them that the close bot is not the best option. So this is the structure. This is the structure that they are offering. Again, so the one prompt is our version of HighLevel, but whatever. So let's say we're using HighLevel. What they are looking for is they have a close bot, right? They have a close bot. Okay. And the close bot is connected to, here. so to the high level, right? And it's back and forth sync. So when someone is actually DM is received, let's say reply send. So when there is someone messaging on Instagram, when the DM is received, it's received on the high level. So actually, CloudBot process this reply, and then it's going in, like it's replying to the user, it's going back to the Instagram, and now this is the flywheel. Okay. Now, I would say that it depends on the complexity. I am not the guy that is saying that you need to build the most complex system for each and every use case. No, there are use cases for different things. A lot of companies, and if we say 70%, let's keep it that way. So 70%, right, of all the potential automations on the agentic frameworks that could be potentially built on Instagram for the DMs. Let's put it that way. 70% of them can be probably handled by a simple close bot interface, right? So, or with a pretty straightforward tool framework that whatever you're using. But 30% cannot be built here because you have limitations on the integrations, you have the limitations on the knowledge base structure, you have the limitations on the you have the limitations in terms of the control. Okay, that's why you really. So if I would apply to this job, I would say, hey guys, why are you actually looking for the close bot? They'll say, yeah, sure. So this is like what we heard, whatever. So we can say to them, hey, but how about if we're going to use HighLevel, instead of a close bot, we are going to power it by the Voiceflow or by the N8N. Now, again, so I'm using the N8N and Voiceflow. So these are the two power engines that we are using within the one prompt. I wouldn't say that one is better than the other. There are, again, so the use cases for each and every of them. If you are simply building the conversational experience, you would just go with the Voiceflow. If you need like multiple tools and kind of more integrations and like more flexibility, more flexibility in terms of the agentic workflows, you would use the N8N. Anyways, so here is how it's going to be used. Here's how it's going to be set up. When we are receiving the message within the high level, we are because close bot. So let's say here, you do not need to build an automation here, right? So you would actually have within the you would install the close bot and you're ready to go. You can also like technically use their conversational AI and see. So the close bot is just in a step ahead. So there's let's say there's GHL conversational AI, right? So, and the close bot is just one step, above so this is the level 1, right? So let's say this is the level 1, this is the level 2, but then this is the level 3. So you really need to understand the use case. If there is a use case for them to build it here, you would actually offer the custom setup without the close bot. The main advantage that we're talking about is having the user reply in multiple messages. Now, if you go to my main YouTube channel, and by the way, if you want me to go over like the entire setup here kinda live, right? We can do that. But again, so let me check it here. Somewhere should be, yeah. So let's say, because this is the this is the same agent that we would deploy in the Instagram. So as you can see, we are saying like there is a message 1 and there is message 2. Usually people are talking to each other in multiple messages. So it's like there are here. Like here, when the DM is received, it's usually received, hey, how are you? I have a question. Do you have this? The close bot will not be able to handle it. That's why if you're choosing either of these, they are still, if you like configure everything really good, if you program it to respond in a certain way, it's still static in terms of, it's still very understandable that this is the AI because it's only getting one message It's getting one message, it's replying to the one message. One. So this is the conversation. But usually it's not like that. People are saying like that, you reply with one, it's one, you reply with two, like you reply with three. It's just like these are how the messages are structured. And the only way to do that is to use the API calls and to use the delay within the HighLevel. Okay? And that's why you need a third-party platform. So now, it's very hard. See, I'm sure that some of the guys that are watching this video, you still guys not really sure what I'm talking about, right? So, okay, so it's here, right? You cannot do this with Closebot, okay? You can, like, it just cannot. But see, like, I need to spend some time to explain it to you, and you're paying attention because you're watching this video. They will not. So I would say what you can do is, if you have the demo, and you should. So if you, maybe have, a demo assembled, just connect it to your Instagram, and then actually send it a few messages and show the difference between this linear conversation and the conversations with multiple messages. And this will visually explain them why there is a difference. Thus, if you're like saying that this is a possibility with this type of the setup, you'll say that it's going to cost more. Again, because they're posted to the Upwork, because we don't know anything about the actual company, we don't know how much are they actually planning to spend, okay? So we can see that they're like ordering a lot of things and they spend a lot of money, but again, whatever. So it depends, So here's how you would actually, and if you ask, hey Eugene, but how you would actually go about like building something like that? I mean, the easiest way would be for you to get the one-part license, but okay, if you're building it yourself, so let me actually go to the sales system, processing, text, let's say N8N, and then we have two main workflows. So let me actually go through them. We need the workflow that is going to receive the DM and then group. So how we're going to process this multiple replies. Okay. So let's actually see. Let's wait for this to be loaded. Now, so let's say there's a trigger. So you set up like a reply, right? So customer replied, and you would say the channel, right? So the reply channel is Instagram, DM, and you're ready to go. Now, so this flow, you obviously in the settings need to allow multiple opportunity and allow re-entry. So when the message is received, it is going to be saved. So we're doing with error, and we're checking, okay, is the DM1 custom field exist? No, this is the first message. We are saving the message body in the DM1 custom field. Let's say, and this is the first message. Hey, how are you? Now, then the user says right away, I have a question. This is the second message. This second message, because the user already exited this workflow, he's going to enter it again with the second message. But here it's going to say DM1 is already like busy. So it's full. So it's going to say, okay, DM2. DM2 is empty. That's why we're gonna, put the second message in the DM2, okay? So now this is the DM1 and this is the DM2. And this is the way how you capture multiple messages in different DMs. All of these, like, transfer the user into the wait and replay. So here you're, like, waiting for the user, message, okay? And then you are generating the reply. But before that, you're grouping the DMs. So let's say there's another custom field called master message. Within the master message, you're grouping DM1, and you can say dot, you can say plus, whatever. You can do whatever. So DM1 dot DM2 DM3. So it's gonna be like this dot like this. So this is the master message, and you are sending this master message to to this scenario in N8N is a payload as whatever. Or let's say if you're using the Voiceflow, right? So let's just go through the Voiceflow. Second to load. Let's open the template that we have for the Omni agent. And actually, this template is available in my free resource hub, I think, partially, not entirely, but partially. So, and you're like just calling the API of the Voiceflow. Okay, and you're passing this as a payload, right? As a payload, you're passing the custom message, and it's going to be the same thing as like here is going to be message1 dot message2 dot message3. So this is kind of the way how you are like actually capturing multiple replies from the user. And then what you're doing, because you need to also, okay, so you capture it, you also need to reply with multiple messages. So the way how you do that is you're generating the reply in the engagement prompt, right? And then you're also putting this reply into the JSON, right? So like message 1, message 2, message 3. Then you're actually chunking down this JSON, so like parsing this JSON and then displaying multiple messages to the user and then doing whatever. Now, I don't want to spend too much time here. Guys, I would want to see if you're interested in this type of the content, if you like in the lifetime build or whatever. So please post in the comments. This is my second channel. I want to get it up and running. So I want to see what you guys are interested. Now, but this would be the structure. So I would like actually if you're building it from scratch, I would, spend on your site like a few days, whatever, a few weeks, a few months, depending on your use case and the actual experience, and have it as a template, because this template can be connected to the Instagram, to the WhatsApp, to the live chat, to email, to anything. And then I'm not like, again, so I'm not applying for this job just because I'm not interested. But if it would be like a bigger job, I'm not sure. Well, I'm not sure if we're gonna use Upwork because we're pretty busy right now with all the clients. But yeah, I would say, hey, apply, like create literally a video on like Loom for like 3 minutes and say, hey guys, I saw that you are requesting the close bot. So I would not recommend you to use the close bot because it's not the most advanced or the conversational way to do the things, because they are specifying that they are looking for automated response interactions in create more sales. So they are seeking a skill developed to create a chatbot specifically. Those which should automate response interactions, enhance user experience. So they're like, you can reference, it's not going to enhance the user experience because this is going to be, a still AI templated, bot that all of the people will understand this is the bot. And you'll create the Loom media. Regarding the price, I would, so yeah, like my agency is not the most accurate way to kind of represent how the market would pay for something like that, because we would actually charge somewhere between like $6,000 to $10,000 for something like that. But again, we are not just building the inbound agents. We're building usually something more advanced. I forgot to mention that the HighLevel is not the only option. You can use the ManyChat, and I am pretty sure that they are aware that there is a ManyChat option. Okay. Now, so the ManyChat can be configured literally the same way, because you would not build, a ManyChat agent, right, within the ManyChat. So you would have this as a base, right? And you would also connect it to HighLevel through APIs. It's like literally very similar setup. So it depends. Like you can offer them like multiple options. And then I would say that, ask them, how are you budgeting it? Are these I hate the companies when they're like, I never worked on the hourly basis, I'll be honest, like never. So we usually charge per project or per request. So I would say probably at least a few $1,000s for something like that, at least. Because you can say, yeah, sure. So I could build it on the close bot if you have the reputation, if you know how to do that. So probably, on the close bot, you charge, something like $500 to $1,000, right? And if this is the case, and if this is what they're planning for, I would say, okay, so how about we double that, but make it really shine? If it's a good company, if they're making the profit, if they're doing some other things, this is not going to make the difference, but it's going to make the difference for you. Okay. So I would say this is the project probably for, $2,000 to $4,000 that you can, realistically target if they are willing to understand the advantage of building it custom and not with a close bot. Anyways, so guys, again, as I said, please in the comments said, hey, Eugene, this is my project, how you go about building that. I promise I will respond to everything. Thanks for watching. Peace.